I should have never made it this far. How I went from being unemployed multiple times to becoming a successful entrepreneur who has generated over $2.5 million in sales in 2014. Hi, I'm your host, Kerry Knoll, and this, for a lack of a better title, is The Kerry Knoll Show. In this episode, I'm going to give you my origin story from who I am to what I do to how I learned it, and most importantly, why I'm doing it for you. I do apologize in advance. I had written this story out so that I don't forget any of the important details, so I will be reading it for you today. I grew up in the middle to lower class. My dad was a factory worker flipping doors at a company called Weyerhaeuser, and my mom worked in retail at a women's clothing store called Stevenson's. And when Stevenson's went out of business, she got a job at a local bank and did that for the rest of her working days. We had a nice house that my dad built with the help of my uncles in an up-and-coming neighborhood where all the rich kids lived, like the franchise owner of McDonald's, a brain surgeon for real, owner of the local Ford dealership, etc., in my hometown of Marshfield, Wisconsin. When I was just 12 years old, my dad passed away from cancer called rhabdomyosarcoma when he was just 37, which made me really grow up fast. We never had much money, but we always seemed to get by. My parents emphasized education. I was fortunate that I didn't have to work too hard in elementary and middle school to get good grades. However, if I would have worked harder at it, I'm pretty sure I could have been an A-plus student. I created my very first website, taught myself HTML in 1995 on my 486 DX2, a blast from the past. At that time, the internet, or World Wide Web as it was more commonly referred to, was fairly new, but I knew that doing anything in computers would be a good thing since most graduates were getting jobs straight out of college and commanding pretty decent salaries. My first job in high school was at Target in the electronics department. During that time, one of my best friends worked at Foot Locker, and after much pleading and some time, he finally was able to get me a job there too, and eventually I quit Target. As soon as I turned 18, I hit the Indian Reservation Casino in Nakusa, Wisconsin to play some blackjack. Of course, I won the very first time I ever played, not knowing what I was doing. However, I was able to get a little help from some friends. After that night, I purchased just about every blackjack book on the market. Blackjack, A Winner's Handbook by Jerry L. Patterson, The World's Greatest Blackjack Book by Lance Humble, $1 Million Blackjack by Ken Uston, Beat the Dealer by Edward O. Thorpe, Bringing Down the House by Ben Mesrick, etc., and read them cover to cover and even rereading certain chapters regarding various card counting systems. Overall, I got good grades in high school and went to college. I started at my community college in my hometown for the first year as I was hoping to play some basketball. However, due to my heart condition, I was unable to get cleared to play. So after my first year, I then transferred to DeVry University in Addison, Illinois. After 1 year there, I was encouraged to give college basketball another try and felt like I could pass a physical to play if I didn't disclose my heart condition. So I transferred to the University of Wisconsin-Stout in Menominee, Wisconsin to play basketball, which was a D3 school. However, about 2 months in, I got sick with mononucleosis and was forced to drop out in the first semester. I then decided to transfer again to a school closer to my home, UW-Stevens Point, and finally graduated from there in 1999 with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Computer Information Systems. I ended up interning at State Farm Insurance in Bloomington, Illinois after my junior year in college, and they offered me a full-time position with them after I graduated. During the summers between semesters, my part-time job would be heading to the casino a few nights per week to back count tables, and when I'd find a dump truck, put my limited bankroll into action. I didn't make a whole lot each summer, but I did make enough not to have to work a normal summer job. In 1998, when the movie Rounders came out, I was instantly hooked and wanted to start playing poker, but there wasn't a poker game around in central Wisconsin, not even at the Indian Reservation casinos. However, little did I know that I was still just 3 years away from living in Las Vegas. After about 6 months in Bloomington, Illinois, working at State Farm Insurance, my mentor got a job in San Diego, California at Sempra Energy and was able to get me a job there not too long after. I was with Sempra for about 3 weeks before I got a call from a .com company in San Diego that wanted to hire me as their web developer. Of course, I jumped at the chance to do that rather than boring mainframe programming in COBOL, which I just absolutely hated, especially since I got into computers to do web stuff. I worked at a company called Component Control for about 8 months before they lost their angel funding and were forced to lay off like 90% of their employees, which unfortunately included me. I didn't have much luck or time to find another job in San Diego, so I decided to pack up and move to Las Vegas since the cost of living was so much cheaper. My first job in Las Vegas was through a company called Manpower, where I got a temp job at the Southern Nevada Health District as a database administrator. They eventually replaced me with a full-time in-house employee, and there I was, unemployed again. My next position came as a web designer for a company and thought this may be it. However, one summer I went on vacation back to Wisconsin over the 4th of July and came back to a nearly empty office space similar to what you would see in the movie Boiler Room. They had gotten shut down for some FTC violations, and yet again I was unemployed. After that, I got hired as a web developer for a company called Allstate Ticketing, which handled almost all of the shows and attractions in Las Vegas. Needless to say, there were many perks to working for them, including free shows and meeting cast members. But they were eventually bought out by Travelocity. And with my position being up in the air, I decided to take a pay cut and go work for the Las Vegas Chamber of Commerce with the help of a buddy of mine who also worked with me at Allstate. At the time, I had a new girlfriend, now my wife, with a baby on the way. So I knew I needed a higher paying job. I was fortunate enough to get in with a marketing agency called CDI Studios, and it was truly my dream job for all of about 8 months or so. One of my best friends in Las Vegas came calling, asking me to join him at a new company called Zions as their webmaster. And I couldn't say no, especially since they were offering me $15,000 more per year. So naturally I took the job, and in just 4 months they had been practically shut down too from some money laundering and or FTC violations. I'm not 100% sure anymore as to the reason, but needless to say, it wasn't good. Here I was, unemployed again. It was at that point that I knew I wasn't really cut out for working a standard 9-to-5 job. I had been playing a lot of poker with some success for some time and decided it was time to try to play professionally full-time. With the full support of my wife, I did that for about 2 years, but it was super stressful and extremely hard to play with case money. During that time, I got close to winning some life-changing money, but couldn't quite ever pull it off, so I opted to return to the job market. It didn't take long for me to get yet another job as a web developer designer for another marketing agency, Greenbaum Marketing. I was happy there, and things were going quite well until, of course, the 2008 recession hit. I know I sound like a broken record, but there I was, laid off again and unemployed. At that point in 2008, I decided to start my own business, initially offering websites to poker players, as I figured it was a good niche to get into, and the poker players I was targeting were pretty big names that had the disposable cash and could afford my fee of $5,000 per website. I worked with the likes of David Williams, Tony Dunst, Hassan Habib, the Tournament Directors Association, etc. But always having to chase the next website client was nothing short of stressful. That's when I knew I needed to be able to offer digital marketing services that I could provide every month so that I could put my clients on monthly retainers for the services I provided. While I was researching how to do SEO, I stumbled across an SEO program called Traffic Travis. After I purchased that product, I was put on an email list and I started receiving various product offers. Little did I know that product, Traffic Travis, was created by a New Zealand marketer by the name of Mark Lane. At the time, he was an affiliate for many products at thewarriorforum.com. I eventually purchased another product, or Warrior Special Offer as they were referred to, that Mark was promoting, and that purchase put me on another marketer's list. As I kept purchasing all these amazing products, I also was getting put on more and more marketers' lists. I soon realized that not only could I service clients as a small business consultant, but I could also be turning a lot of my newfound digital marketing knowledge into my own digital information products, or WSOs, as well. However, I didn't know where to start. I eventually attended Dr. Ben Atkins' End of the World event right here in Las Vegas, and that event inspired me to take massive action. I knew I had to approach affiliates and ask them to mail my offer in order for my digital information product to get any real traction or sales. But it's a weird good old boys club, if you will, and if you don't play the game right, you just can't get in. While reaching out to affiliates, one affiliate in particular by the name of Tim Castleman reached out to me and wanted to give me some advice in exchange for him to be able to record our meeting and use it for his own marketing purposes. He suggested getting creative, and since my new product was called Offline Puppet Master, Chiropractor's Edition, we decided to send each of them a personalized video message from yours truly on a burned CD-ROM with their very own puppet. Lo and behold, it worked. I was able to get the likes of Chris Winters, Dr. Ben Atkins, Donald Wilson, 2 rock stars, etc. to mail my offer as affiliates. And that not only allowed me to have a semi-successful launch, but also gave me my initial list of about 400 or so customers. Soon after, I launched more niches in that same product line. However, each successive launch had diminishing returns, producing less and less sales. After about 2 years of doing that and having some clients, I was doing okay, but it wasn't life-changing money by any means. Then, in December 2013, a marketer I followed, Don Wilson, had posted a video about some new site called teespring.com, where he was able to create a t-shirt design, create a campaign for it, and sell them with Facebook ads without having to touch any inventory. So I tried it out for myself and made over $1,800 in the very first week. I soon realized that I could scale that initial shirt campaign into hundreds by just creating more designs, more campaigns, and getting more ads up. Before I knew it, I had generated over $78,000 in total net revenues from all the shirt campaigns I had running just in January 2014 alone. It didn't take me long to cut out the middleman, Teespring, purchase a heat press, and find a place to order my designs and shirts wholesale. I took a little hiatus from February through March after my second open heart surgery in March of 2014. By mid-April, I got the t-shirt business started up again, and it didn't take long to realize we needed help. In August 2014, I ended up getting a 3,000 square foot warehouse and hired over 30 employees, where we had 4 stations, 2 employees each working 6-hour shifts, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Over the course of that year, we had done over $2.6 million in total revenues, and in August of 2014 alone, we sold over 19,000 shirts, t-shirts, and hoodies, resulting in over $600,000 in total revenues. Our biggest day ever was $44,000 in total revenues, as I had sold over 1,200 shirts in a 24-hour period. During that time, I was spending upwards of $20,000 per day in Facebook ads, almost always returning roughly $25,000 in total net revenues each day after all of my expenses. Unfortunately, this business only lasted about 1.5 years before Facebook changed their ads algorithm and stopped showing t-shirt ads as frequently as they had in the past, which basically destroyed our business since it was my only source of traffic. This led me back to being a small business consultant and digital information product creator once again. Now I'm helping other people, whether or not they're small business consultants or digital agency owners, with their digital marketing needs by providing them with my programs and completely done-for-you digital assets to ensure they have everything they need in order to be successful. In short, I help people grow their businesses through digital marketing strategies, tools, and accountability they need to take their business to the next level. It's extremely important for me to serve as many people as I can to help them achieve their dream lifestyle and become financially independent. Because without the marketers before me doing that exact same thing for me, I wouldn't be where I am today. I love helping people who are just like I was not too long ago. I want to pass on the digital marketing knowledge I've gained from my mentors. This is super important to me because I've seen how much life sucks when you have to struggle financially and you don't know how to sell your products or services to others. I've also seen how amazing life can be when you do know exactly how to sell your products or services, which typically results in becoming financially independent. Your ability to use digital marketing can literally change your life and the lives of your family members forever. And that's what I am hopefully here to do for you guys. And I hope each and every week you'll tune in to my show and watch as I teach and cover some different digital marketing strategies and tactics that will help you take your business to a whole other level. So with that being said, I'm Kerry Knoll, and I will speak with you in the next episode of The Kerry Knoll Show. Take care.